Hi everybody, welcome back to Cityhare.com. I'm the Everyday Chef. And growing up during the summer times, I loved to eat fried chicken. Whether it was hot, cold, whatever, it's a great picnic meal. Always one of my favorite things to have. And that's what we're gonna do today. And I have my oil already heated. And I encourage you, if you don't have a skillet with an adjustable heat setting, an electric skillet, invest in one. They're a really great thing to have, and I have it set at 350 degrees, and that's all ready to go. I also have my breading ready, and all this is just flour, some salt, some onion and garlic powder, 2 types of pepper. I have black pepper and red cayenne pepper in here, and some paprika. And that and the red pepper gives it this nice orange color. And I also have some celery seed in here. And that is my own little personal touch. I've not known many people to put celery seed in on their fried chicken, but it does really give it a good balance and a nice flavor. And the only way to really know if you have that seasoned well is to just dip your finger in it and put a big wad of the flour in your mouth. And I know that's disgusting, but it really does give you a good sense of how well balanced the seasoning is. And obviously, if you have garlic salt or onion salt instead of powder, you could use that. Just back off on the regular salt some. And I also have here some eggs, and we use this to dip the chicken in before we put it in the fryer. And I actually have my chicken soaking, and that's something that I have read a lot about, is to have the chicken soaking in buttermilk overnight. We'll take 2 eggs here and we'll just beat them up to make a little egg wash, so to speak. But like I was saying though, we'll get the chicken. And here I just have some thighs and some drumsticks, and they've been soaking in buttermilk overnight. Now you can read about all the science about why it works, but in a nutshell, the enzymes in the buttermilk break down some of the enzymes in the chicken to help make the chicken more tender when you eat it. So there it is. We have that ready to go. And what we're going to do is we're just going to take it right out of the chicken, right out of the buttermilk, into the flour, into the egg, back into the flour, because I like my chicken with a lot of breading on it, and then straight into the oil. Let's go ahead and take our lid off. Now in a pan like this has a lot of area in it, which is great. Hopefully we can get all the chicken in there at once. And I've filled it with canola oil 1/3 of the way. Actually, that's not exactly accurate. I have canola and vegetable oil mixed, which is perfectly fine to do. They have basically the same smoke point, so it's perfectly fine to do that if you're running low on one. And like I said, that's at 350 degrees. So I'm just going to grab my tongs here and grab the chicken, just put it in the flour, get a nice coat of the breading all around. Then I'll put it in the egg and roll it around, making sure it gets coated. And then I go back into the flour. Again, that's just to give it a nice, a good layer of the breading. I'm a big fan of the breading. That's the best part of the chicken. And then once that's done, all you do is you just drop it into don't drop it, don't burn yourself. Just put it into the skillet. And when you put it in, be sure you drop it away from you so you don't splash on yourself. So that's all there is to it. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the rest of the chicken in there, and then we'll check up and see how it's doing. As you can see, the skillet's full. I only had 1 piece of chicken left, so I think I'm doing pretty good. Now, one thing I forgot to mention earlier, obviously this is just how I like my fried chicken breaded. If you don't care for spices, then don't put the pepper in. If you have other ideas, remember, all you need is just a little imagination to make it how you want it. Also, If you don't feel like going out and buying an electric skillet and you want to cook it on the stove top or however, I would recommend probably medium to a medium-high setting. If you have a high temperature thermometer, you can put it in and make sure you're hovering around 350 degrees. And typically you want to cook the chicken about 10 to 12 minutes per side. But most importantly, you want to make sure that the chicken reaches 180 degrees internally. And this chicken has been in about 11 minutes. So we'll let that go a little bit longer. And to measure my chicken, I have just a small thermometer here. And when you measure with a small thermometer like this, if you hit the bone, pull back a little bit from the bone and maybe try to go to the side a little bit, because the bone is going to be colder than the rest of it. So you want to be sure that you're not actually touching the bone. Go ahead and take a look. Start from our first piece. Oh yeah. We'll go ahead and flip those over. Being careful not to splash oil anywhere. And that's one reason why I have the lid close by. If for some reason that a fire breaks out, remember, never put water on a grease fire. Just cover it up, let it extinguish itself, and you should be okay. Now this is looking absolutely fantastic. Smells wonderful. Now, as soon as this gets done, I'll probably serve it up with some mashed potatoes, some green beans. Oh, that's looking great. Now that's good. These will let cook just a little bit longer so they can get to that color. So we'll let those go, then we'll come back and we'll check the temperature, then we'll plate it up. So enough time's gone by. We're going to check the chicken for temperature. It looks absolutely fantastic. I have a pair of tongs here to hold the chicken in place. My thermometer. Like I said earlier, we want to be sure that it reaches 180 degrees. We'll go ahead and stick it into a thick part of the meat there. And we'll watch it come up. Give me 180, give me 180. How about that? That's 180 degrees right there, folks. So we are going to call that one done. To take it out, I just have a little serving platter here with a paper towel to absorb some of the extra grease. Me being the way I am, I like to check all of them just to make sure. I don't want anybody getting sick off of anything that I make. So I'm going to go ahead and check all these, and we're going to plate them up as they come to temperature. Right, so all of our chicken is done. One thing I should have mentioned a little bit earlier is when you're putting the chicken in the fryer, the general rule is to put the skin side down first. But personally, I've never really noticed that it makes much difference. There you have it. That's my recipe for fried chicken. And there's my fried chicken, just the way I like it, with a little bit of red pepper and some celery seed. Please let your oil cool off before you've done anything with it, and unplug and turn off the heat source just for an added safety precaution. And remember, you can make the breading as personal as you want it. I've put the celery seed and the red pepper in it. And be sure to check out Cityhare.com on the profile for the Everyday Chef, where you can stay up to tabs on what I'm making next, as well as view the recipes for the things that I'm making. Folks, thanks for watching. And remember, the secret ingredient to any recipe is a dash of imagination.